I've seen its true face. The streets are extended gutters, and the gutters are full of blood. And when the drains finally scab over, all the vermin will drown. The accumulated filth of all their sex and murder will foam up around their waists. And all the whores and politicians will look up and shout, "Save us." And I'll whisper, "No."
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is Cheapseat Reviews.
No arms, MaGee.
He gives him coffee.
Well, no, they're all psychos. Everyone in this movie is a psychopath. Hello, and thank you for listening to Cheap Seat Reviews, the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good.
For the greater good.
There he is. There it is. For the greater good.
I'm not used to Zoom. You gotta forgive me.
No, it's fine. It's fine. This is episode 389, and tonight we're talking about The Watchmen. I am Sean Allred, and joining me tonight is Sam. Mars seems like a really good place right now. Vector.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't have big blue explosions everywhere and big blue. Well, I guess it does have big blue things on it, but
yeah,
it would certainly be a nicer place. But Sean,
yeah,
just so you know, if there was one way this movie would put you out of your misery,
yeah,
it wouldn't be splattering your body like a Rorschach painting. It wouldn't be a shot through the forehead. It would certainly be the fall from the window. At the beginning of this movie, just so that I can see the fear in your eyes as you know that you're falling.
It'll take me 38 minutes to get to the bottom, so you're fine.
Well, it is a Snyder movie,
yeah.
So of course it takes forever,
right? And also joining us tonight, as you now know, is Danny. Ate a whole can of cold beans before coming on the show from the I Scream You Scream For movies.
And he sure did enjoy them cold beans.
Good.
Without heating them, surprisingly. That's weird.
Yeah,
but
they're better.
He likes them that way.
They're better cold. Okay, well, let's pull up a comfy chair and dive into this movie, The Watchmen, 2009's Watchmen. I keep saying The Watchmen, and when you search The Watchmen,
it's without the, so it's not THE. It's just the W in the whole word,
Yeah, just Watchmen. So
the new HBO The Watchmen? The HBO show was The Watchmen?
No, it's still just Watchmen.
It's still Watchmen. Okay. It's a TV show they released in 2019. That's different.
Yeah, there's a movie.
Yeah.
There are other movies called The Watchmen, which is where I
okay.
Trouble with
interesting.
Stuff.
Okay,
yeah, it's fine.
Sean, have you ever seen the book? Do you ever get the?
I have physically seen it. I have not read all of it.
You've not read it.
I had about. Honestly, the first time I picked it up is I was shooting a movie in Tennessee, and we were shooting in a library. And I said, "Oh, look, The Watchmen." And so I read the first 30 or 40 pages in between scenes before we had to leave the library. So I thought, I should pick this up and keep reading, but I never did. So, no, I've not read it.
Danny, have you ever read the book?
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not the type of person who would just read like anything based on whatever, because it's okay. Look, the thing is, one thing I will give about reading graphic novels and like novels itself, it's so fun imagining the pictures of what it looks like, but at the same time, it's mostly better watching the adaptation of what they look like on screen. And to be honest, I had never read the Watchmen books, graphic novels ever, but simply watching them just makes it look like it's so real out of the pictures. It's so inspiring to see what comes to life in comic books like that. So, I mean, I did not read the books, but this
book has been around for quite some time.
Yeah, I believe in the 1900s, I think. And then there were developers around 1900 something. And then so many development issues of studios were taking partnerships from 20th century to Warner Brothers. So it's been a lot for years.
It was one of those projects I believe Hollywood thought was what do you call that, Sean? Not unfilmable, but it was like Game of Thrones, right?
They have they have certain they're kind of not like blacklists, but there's just these scripts that float around Hollywood for forever, and they just don't get made for whatever reason.
Yeah. Yeah. So this book has been one of those types of things, and with the Watchmen, well, what is this movie about? Let me ask you that. Do you have any idea what this movie's about, Sean?
Yeah, well, so I guess we should have said something. Andrew is not.
Yeah,
with us
Andrew's
tonight.
not here.
Yeah, he's not. There's a reason why he's been very quiet, and you haven't heard any clinking of glasses. Andrew's not here. He is somewhere else enjoying life. So we three will soldier on without him. So if Andrew were here, he would say something like, "In 1985, where former superheroes exist, the murder of a colleague sends active vigilante Rorschach into his own sprawling investigation, uncovering something that could completely change the course of history as we know it." Which, I mean, like,
Okay.
I mean, that's actually...
That's kind of... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say,
don't
like,
know.
the book starts off having changed history. This is an alternate history anyway, so I don't know if it could change history if it's already been changed, but whatever, it's fine. It's a bad read, is what it is.
Yeah,
Well,
I can
basically,
tell.
when Manhattan was created, it pretty much started that trajectory down a different path, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you got from this?
No, because, like, I think that there was something different still happening, I think. Well, maybe you're right. Maybe it was Manhattan, but I mean, I guess actually, now that you're right, I do think you're right. I think it is Dr. Manhattan is the singularity that kind of changes things, because Vietnam War lasts like 4 minutes in this version, and Nixon has erased.
In a flash, they're just afraid of the superhero coming in like that, and they just like surrender instantly.
Right.
It's Dr. Manhattan. It's intimidating.
Well, they still dropped the bomb. That was shown in the.
But
the
see,
intro.
that
So I mean,
it was the different plane, though. That's what confused me. The Enola Gay is the plane that dropped Hiroshima. So that's why when it was a different plane, I thought, oh, this is a different world that we're on.
a different
multiverse. This
multiverse. There you go.
This one doesn't have Spider-Man, which is a bummer.
Yeah. Imagine that, though.
Yeah.
Golly.
So anyway, I guess, but to your point, I think Dr. Manhattan kind of probably is the. I don't know, because like there's like during
it's a turning point or whatever.
But like in that intro montage of violence and ridiculous, like there are moments where, like, was there a moment where military police fired onto students like that?
Oh God, yeah.
Were there
yeah,
moments
with
like
the
Dude,
flower
oh my
and the
God.
gun.
I know what you're talking about. Oh Lord, why would they just? Oh my God. Yeah, that is that's scary. That's scary for like these people shooting these students. Like, whoa.
So Sean, I looked up real quick. I wanted to see the plane and the difference, and obviously it wasn't the Enola Gay, but it was the Miss Jupiter with the Jupiter lady. Oh gosh, the girl from Gerald's Game.
Yeah.
On it.
Carla,
I guess with the
Carla
existence, with the existence of these superheroes, that had changed some things, but they still, instead of the Enola Gay, it was Miss Jupiter, basically.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine. All right. So anyway, it's a different universe. It's a different timeline, which is fine. Richard Nixon's been president for 3 terms. He's somehow able to overturn, I forgot which amendment it is to the Constitution, but he basically is able to do that. Obviously, there's a comment in the movie that I guess I should ask this. Danny, you've obviously seen this because you mentioned pre-show that you watched this when you were a kid.
I could, and then I rewatched it again a few times in the past, and then rewatched it again this year on my birthday. So it was on Netflix. I can almost remember everything. So what do you want? So what's up?
No, I'm just making sure that so Sam, like, when was the last time you saw this before this viewing?
Oh, it's been a while. It's been quite some time.
Yeah.
So it's probably 4 or 5 years, I would guess.
Okay.
Since last watched. Okay.
Yeah, I probably watched it. I think
I'll probably not watch it again until the moment of time. I don't know, depending on my mood. So I'll never forget this movie, though, regardless.
I probably watched it. Yeah, I mean, I watched it when it came out. I don't think I saw this in theaters. I don't think I did.
Yeah, me too. I was too young.
Really?
So pretty much.
I think I sought this one out. I've always, like I mentioned before, I've had the book forever.
It came out when I was like 9 years old. So I mean, Yeah, that's when I was.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't be seeing these types of movies anymore.
Yeah. I know it wasn't my thing until I got older, so it was understandable.
Yeah, I don't think I sought this out. 2009, I was more excited for Iron Man than this.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I was excited for Iron Man 2. I didn't have a chance to go see it. Oh my god! And then all of a sudden, I just forgot about Iron Man, but I'll still know his name at least.
What order is this in? Oh my gosh, not Elfman. Snyder's filmography.
Okay.
Because he came to Rise with 300.
Yeah.
He did Dawn of the Dead before 300, so I think what's next? Yeah, I don't know if this is the third film he directed. I'm not sure, but
so let's see. His first music video.
By the way, he's an awesome director. I love him. He's actually one of my favorite directors. Pretty much, I love the name Zack Snyder.
Dawn of the Dead was his first feature, and then 300, and then
the
Watchmen.
There we go.
So yeah, this was his third film.
And then if I can name more of his films he's done after, if you don't mind, Sam. He's done after that Legends of the Guardians, Sucker Punch. He's done Man of Steel, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Man of Steel. And then he did Batman v Superman. He was good. He was doing Justice League, but then dropped out because of his conflict some emergency
daughter's
came up
death.
with him. Yeah. And then he has done anything, but now he's done the Army of the Dead, that one. So I'm pretty sure those are the ones. And he did produce Suicide Squad, which doesn't count as directing, but he did wrote like some part of the movie at least. For all we know, he's that type of person who makes superhero movies efficiently. And they're not that bad.
I think what Zack Snyder does well is he's able to take these kind of random comics that don't have such a rabid fan base. I'm not talking about Superman and Batman. I'm talking about
Watchmen is that
300 and Watchmen and that type of thing. And I think he's able to bring those unique visuals to the screen in a way a lot of people cannot. And I think he gets in trouble when he gets to the other things where he's trying to put his Zack Snyder spin on things like Superman.
They call it the Snyderverse for a reason. I've been hearing that on Twitter a lot. Those
well, okay. I don't want to go there because clearly you love those films. I think they're all kind of bad, but that's fine. We all have our things that we love, and that's
not most films. I think they're pretty bad, but yeah, keep going. Sorry.
Well, I mean, Batman versus Superman's a bad movie. I mean,
I agree. That's not good. It's not good. I couldn't even finish this movie. I just something's wrong with this movie, pretty much, and it's long. I couldn't handle watching this like for a night, and then just fell asleep.
You say this? You mean Batman versus Superman, or
Batman versus Superman? Yeah.
Okay. I was like, okay. Sam, please give us your 5-word review for this movie.
Absolutely. I've got 2 of them tonight. And my first one is From the Page to Screen. And it's one of those rare things, just like he did 300, where he put a comic book on the screen. The most of the visuals you see in this movie come directly off the pages, and it's amazing to see some of the things. The one big difference being the gigantic space octopus that is in the comics. Instead of the explosion of Dr. Manhattan, it's the common enemy in the comic is a gigantic octopus. So anyway, it's just an interesting diversion. My second one here is complicated story, thinly held together. This is a incredibly complicated story with jumping from time frames.
I agree with you.
Locations and all sorts of storylines, and I think he did fairly well. There are some threads showing around the edges. It's kind of jarring to go from Rorschach tales to Manhattan tales and vice versa. I think this movie I enjoy this movie. I think it's not one of my favorites, but it's at least something I'll watch if it's on. and I think it would have been better served as like they did the Watchmen miniseries on HBO and brought this to the smaller screen. I think it could have been much easily, with addition to the storytelling, I think it would have helped to add even more time to this movie. But I think he does well. Obviously, Snyder always does well with the visuals. It's, you can always enjoy it. I was taken out of this movie several times because of, I don't know if this was a directorial choice, but the makeup in this movie. I generally don't complain about makeup in movie, but Nixon looked horrible. As well as the aged makeup on Gerald's Game Girl. I thought that kind of cheapened it a little bit. But how can I complain about, aged makeup when there's a blue giant man flying around, in there?
When he's clearly
I thought
naked.
it was okay. Yeah, I thought it was done well. It was interesting. It was something. I think it was a new type of story that was brought to us, and I appreciate that. It wasn't a recycled tale as old as time. It was something new and different, and I like that. How about you? What do you guys think?
Dan, if you got your 5-word, go for it, man.
Oh yeah, I got it. In one sentence though, that's all I have. Most underrated DC movie ever. Okay? Most underrated DC movie ever. And I loved everything about it so much, regardless to my confusion when I was watching it and understanding it towards the end of the day. Yeah, it's a lot to take in the complex story of jumping timeline to timeline. And like I wanted to talk about, it has a little bit of expedition and timelines wise. So Zack Snyder delivered quite an astonishing visual, groundbreaking from the novel to the big screen. And where I want to put up the touches of the cast performance too, and they were well done. I mean, I can name a bunch of my head, but there's one person that I love so much in the whole movie, Jackie Earl Haley. My God, he delivered the heck out of Rorschach. I loved his tone, every mood. Man, it's like I want to be this guy so bad. If I was in the movie or having a standalone kind of film in my head, I would kill a role like this and just, go with the flow. But other than that, I do happen to like I happen to like Night Owl. I happen to like probably I was actually Night Owl and Rorschach are my favorites, but Rorschach is always going to be my all-time favorite, no doubt. Check Your Lily played the heck out of him pretty well. It's so amazing. If there's a weakness I can probably put out there, which I never even thought about this, the runtime, yeah, it's kind of long, but it kind of fits well somehow, but a lot of the expedition to this timeline, it kind of felt unnecessary to having a Watchmen movie, but I understand the complex where Snyder's coming from to bringing this, and yeah, if you happen to read the novel, people would understand, and a lot of people that don't check out the novel will just probably give a mixed option. I mean, I can't blame them though, but definitely one thing I would like to say, definitely a gem movie to remember. That's it.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, Sean, I do know that this movie does either people love this movie or they hate this movie. And I'm interested to hear your end of this. What do you think?
I mean, I don't hate it. I don't love it. I barely like it. I tolerate it. I don't love it. It's
wow. Okay, so you're a rare person
you
in the middle.
Yeah, I am. I mean, I don't know. It's just, and I know probably people that love this movie are probably telling me you need to watch it, 14 more times before you really get it. And okay, but I don't know. I just I get what the movie's trying to tell me. I like Snyder fine. I love 300, and I actually enjoyed Sucker Punch. I enjoyed Sucker Punch more than I did this movie, honestly. And I know that's probably
Really?
yeah, that's
Oh,
probably
that's-
well, it's because that movie has an aesthetic that I like. I like steampunk. So
okay.
there's something about that movie that already it's like already given it's like already a notch above for that kind of thing. I don't want we did a review on it, go listen to that. But
Yeah.
yeah, like okay, so my 5-word review is it's a bad sentence because I needed, I don't have the 5th word, or a 6th word. So psychopaths killing psychopaths, the greater good. Again, I guess there's no the, but greater good.
I feel like it's more than 5 words, but I can't complain.
Well,
Psycho.
if you take out the, then like the Watchmen, you don't have the Watchmen. He's just Watchmen.
Yeah.
Then just for
Yes.
psychos killing psychos, greater good.
Yeah, what happens to comedian is so true. Yeah.
Well, no, they're all psychos. Everyone in this movie is a psychopath.
every single one.
Every human is a psychopath. They're all terrible.
So does
people.
Rorschach. He did what he did, but yeah, I don't blame him.
Yeah. Again, every human in this movie is a psychopath. So
Yeah.
I guess maybe the dude at the prison that's trying to help Rorschach. Maybe he's like the only decent human in the world right now. I don't know. But yeah, these are all
He doesn't
terrible
seem that
people.
crazy. He doesn't seem that crazy, but yeah.
Well, wasn't that the whole point of the Watchmen? Right? Is you've got these quote unquote superheroes, and it's kind of like what the boys are. The show The Boys is trying to tell that story of what happens with these people who might not be completely on our side or psychopathic when they're given the power to do so.
Yeah, it's crazy that even these. Okay, there was one scene where people were so psycho, like they were just like what they're doing a riot on the streets, and then when Night Owl and comedians just showed up to the streets and like some spacecraft ship, yeah, that's when things got ugly. Comedians start beating the hell out of them, and yeah, he's a psycho too. I mean, people won't shut the heck up about it. I mean, I don't blame comedians to like shut these people up and just but killing them is unnecessary. Come on, dude.
Yeah, he's
American Dream, please.
He's just looking for an excuse to hurt some people. Okay, so this
exactly
is
it's stupid to me, but yeah.
So there was a riot going on. The police were on strike, and so the comedian showed up because he wanted to hurt people. There was no other reason for it other than he wanted to hurt some people. I assume that those shotgun shells that he was shooting had beanbags in them because when the camera turned around to shoot.
Oh, really?
Well, the camera turns around and we see over his shoulder he's shooting the tear gas launcher. There's no dead bodies on the ground. There would be 4 or 5 dead people on the ground. So I would just assume that
kind of good. They just edited like that. That's fair. No, not that people noticed about that. I didn't even notice till now. Whoa.
Yeah, again, I would assume that he's not going to just kill people in the street, hurt the hell out of them.
Or they'd let him do that. Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, he was protected by Nixon at that point. He was
true.
Doing shady stuff for Nixon, so he was protected. I mean, he could do whatever the heck he wanted to, but yeah, no, it's just I mean, I know that's a lot of Alan Moore's creations are dark and gritty and whatever, and I get that, but I mean, like the two most likable people in the movie are there's I mean, like he can't get an erection until he goes and beats up a bunch of. That's what it is. He's literally impotent until he puts on the suit and goes and beats up some drug dealers or whatever on the street. I mean, again, everyone in this movie is a psychopath. It's
a psychopath.
It's crazy. So, yeah, and Rorschach is like he kind of comes across as almost like the only sane guy. He's like the voice of reason.
But he's still he is still he's so, what do you call that?
All I can say is not
narrow-minded, but just he cannot compromise. And I mean, ultimately to his own demise. But again, it just shows a certain psychopathic tendency in that itself.
Yeah, he's got great narration, like I said, so I like it.
I
I'm
mean,
not
yeah,
complaining about his
it
stuff.
makes
really.
a good. I mean, he's a great actor, and it makes for a great noir scene and noir
Yeah.
film. And I like, the journal aspect. I mean, there's a lot of the pieces of the movie that I like. Give me about 35% less slow mo. And again, having not also read the book, like, was Ozymandias was he like legit like Superman? I mean,
Ozymandias. Yeah. We haven't touched base on this guy, but
He was super smart, right? So it wasn't that he was Superman, but that he just, it was almost like a sixth sense that he knew and could predict, and he knew all the fighting moves. He was not super strong, but he could use levers, and he could use leverage to get what he wanted.
yeah, but I mean,
from.
he kicks Rorschach in the face and he goes 48 feet in the air. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
some funny,
Unless somehow he's got some sort of serum in him, I don't recognize that as from the book.
he's just a dirty man to me. Is all I gotta say. He is a psychopath too, like what Sean said. I despise him a little, pretty much. But
well, he's supposed to be that, right? He's
supposed to. He's the
the
comic book
smartest
villain.
psychopathic person in the movie, and
I mean,
But here's what I love, and one of the things I love about this story, and that is the fact that the villain wins. The villain wins, and not only does he win, he actually helps humanity by winning.
So a few notes that I took while we were watching it this time. First of all, I will say this. As always, I watch these movies with my wife. She basically walked out during the rape scene. She said, she said, nope, I don't want any part of this. I forgot it was in the movie. I just forgot. Again, I've only
look,
seen,
I want to put this. I don't really care about the frontal nudity and stuff in this rape. Look, that's my only thing I didn't like as well. That brought him in my head intentionally right now. So, yeah, it's disgusting.
Well, yeah, and again, it's
Yeah.
you're supposed to hate him and whatever, but it also it lends itself to the moment later on Mars when Dr. Manhattan didn't realize is if these two people in this horrible act can still create a beautiful life, then maybe life is worth saving, right?
Saving.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it ultimately leads to a good, and the mom has that sweet kind of. She has that moment where she said, "I didn't hate him because he gave me you." So there is a sweetness to that, and so again, it does. The movie does give you hope, and I think we were talking about greater good moments. I mean, this is like it's just Thanos, right? Thanos kills half the universe, right? In order
for a reason that we can actually be like, okay. Yeah, that's a good reason.
You can kind of actually see where he's coming from a little bit, or it's like, well, okay, if the resources are finite, then let's, whatever. So he's a villain who believes in what he is doing, and believes that it's the right thing to do, which makes him all the scarier. And he has the means and to do it. I mean, I just love that when Dr. Manhattan is like, you being the smartest human is like being the smartest termite or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, but I still fooled you. Like, I still beat you, kind of, So there is something kind of fun about that. Yeah. Any other little notes we want to do before we get into some of our other segments?
I think we're good.
I'm good too.
All right.
Got nothing in my head right now.
Okay, no worries. All right, so a couple other things that I'll say real quick, just looking at my notes. Of course, that opening scene, I wrote cool fight scene. Oh, the very opening scene. I thought it was just a cool shot. Again, Zack Snyder can shoot a fight scene. He can direct the hell out of a fight scene.
You can do that pretty well.
Yeah.
But cool edit too.
Let's see. Yeah, I forgot what a horrible guy the comedian is. And then I wrote blue penis in an exclamation point.
Oh man, I knew that one too. Godly.
I also learned that they don't have the same rules as other comic book superheroes. They will kill people. I mean, she stabs one of those gangbangers in the neck with his knife. So that's pretty.
Don't forget an elbow pop from freaking Night Owl.
Oh
was
yeah,
on that,
there was a
dude.
lot of.
Oh my! I just slowly realized, and I thought it was a knife. He just pushed. Wow, how strong can he just? Whoa, that's insanely graphic. I have to admit that right now.
Yeah, the graphics were the fights were pretty rough. I know that we have a dear listener who I think is going to watch it. Rosie asked me, am I going to like it? And I told her, I was like, my wife didn't. So take it for what it's worth. But
oh, dude, it's complicated like that. Oh, whatever you like stuff like that or not, just it's a movie.
Yeah, well, yeah. Sorry, I'm being distracted by something. Weird noise. It sounds like someone just fired up a vacuum cleaner or something. Is that you?
Really?
Yeah.
Is it my?
Is it the fan on your computer?
It's the fan on my computer. Hold on, let me.
Yeah, I can hear
move
it
that.
too.
No, it's fine. It's just it fired up. What is that
shoot!
noise?
Oh,
is that better?
yeah. I didn't want to say anything, but
no, it's.
Man, it's so strange how this table.
It's hard to have a peace and
amplifies
quiet when doing
everything.
these sessions. I mean, to be honest, it's a rough thing.
Wherever you are now, Sam, you should stay there. I like the idea that you sound like you're underwater.
But am I still? Does it still stand?
No, I can't hear the fan.
No, I can't hear anything.
okay.
You yourself sound like you're underwater. It's pretty great. Okay, there was a scene that really grossed me out, and that was when they were when Night Owl and what's her name were naked.
Silk Spectre.
Yes.
Actually, Sally Jupiter. That's her name.
No, not Jupiter, but the other. Yeah, Silk Spectre. Yeah.
Silk Spectre.
Yeah, it's Sally No, wait. Sally. No, Sally is her real name. That's Silk Spectre is like her superhero name. I mean, if I'm correcting right now, but
no. So Sally Jupiter, her real name is Carla Gugino. I always say.
Her mother.
Malin Ackerman, who plays Lori Jupiter. When Lori and Dan.
Lori. God.
When they're naked on Mars, I guess they're on Mars, and then they peel off their skin
face or something.
Yeah. To reveal their true selves, it's like the Batman thing where it's like his real identity is the Batman and his false identity is Bruce Wayne. Like they show the visual, but it was really gross. I mean, it really grossed me out.
Yeah, the skin one. Oh my god, I know what you mean. Though, and my mistake on the Sally part. It's Lori. I'm sorry.
Oh, you have to
can't believe I forgot about the names.
There's of all people on this, no one on this show has to apologize for getting names wrong.
Yeah,
no one ever gets names wrong on this podcast. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm the only one who did. So okay.
You're fine. Okay. I'm going to play a few clips now. You guys ready for some clips? Of course you are.
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear it right now. So let's see what the clips are.
All right.
Let's get down.
Is this bean juice? Human bean juice.
There you go. Human bean juice.
Oh, where he eats the beans cold, stoned. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So this was a neat thing.
Damn, I love working on American soil, Dan. Ain't had this much fun since Woodward and Bernstein.
So, watching it the first time, I didn't get that reference. Now I know what that means. Woodward and Bernstein were the two guys that uncovered Watergate. They were the guys that helped bring down Nixon.
That's
movie,
what it means.
Yeah, the movie's telling us that he killed those two men. That's how Nixon is still in power.
Oh, he did what he did to protect the president. I mean, that's what American Dream is made for.
Right. So, and the cool thing is that I've met those two men.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they
really.
Well, no.
Did you run into them?
Well, they did a speaking thing at the college that I worked at, and I was the sound guy for them. So I got to put the microphones on them. Very
cool,
very nice guys. And then I handed them a sticker for my podcast. I'm just teasing. I didn't do that. But that would have been cool.
Yeah.
That would have. I wouldn't have.
Says it all in the giveaway on the tweet I saw. But yeah.
I would not have put that past you.
There's no way I would ever do that. No, good Lord, no. All right. This line here makes me realize that Alan Moore hates Republicans.
Assuming conservative projections of how many Soviet warheads we destroyed beforehand, we'll lose all of the East Coast.
The last gasp of the Harvard establishment. Let's see them think their way out of fission.
With anticipated wind patterns, the fallout drifted head south. Mexico will catch worse of it. Most of the farm belt might remain unaffected.
Not so bad. All things considered.
Yeah, like every part of that is just awful. It's the worst.
Yeah, politics, man. It's hard to get into like that.
That's not politics. That's just people being, again, they're psychos.
Psychopath.
They're psychos. They're horrible people.
Yeah, I get it.
None of you seem to understand. I'm not locked in here with you.
That's it! You're locked in here with me!
Yeah, he taught that dude a lesson: never mess with Rorschach.
Yeah, I mean, and it's
I like
funny
that
because
scene too.
They use a similar line in Batman Begins when Bruce Wayne is beating up all these guys, and then they're like, "We need to isolate you for protection." He's like, "I don't need protection." He's like, "Protection for them." It's the same thing.
Yeah. What other clips do you got I can listen to? I hope it's some Rorschach stuff. Probably the good one.
I think that's actually the last of that one here.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Okay. This piece of music reminded me a lot of it reminded me of The Matrix. That's all I'm gonna say. Because so here you go, The Matrix.
Can't tell what scene is that from exactly. If you don't mind, I couldn't hear it well. I'm not sure.
So yeah, you get that swell, the trumpets. I mean, Tyler Bates did this movie, and he's a great composer.
Yeah. He's a good composer. I like it. He's iconic. Not the most iconic, but I can't think of this other composing movies he's done. But I think actually, never mind. What scene was that from exactly? From that sound?
That's where they realized that they're gonna go beat up some people in Archie. They're gonna go fly around and beat up some people. So it's the shot where the Archimedes ship is flying around.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and then my last one.
A necessary crime.
We can't let you do that.
Do that, Rorschach? I'm not a comic book villain. Do you seriously think I'd explain my masterstroke to you if there were even the slightest possibility you could affect the outcome? I triggered it 35 minutes ago.
There you go. It's basically like when Syndrome said, "Oh, you got me monologuing." It kind of reminded me of that.
That's Ozymandias, that's for sure. That's just Ozzy.
Yes.
Psycho.
Yeah.
Smart.
No, he's great. It's good dialogue.
Yeah.
All right.
Dialogues are good. I'll admit that.
All right. Time for this.
And now for some more bad news. Ready?
So normally we have trivia, but instead we're doing this thing where I play a game, a trivia game. And I have been so distracted by every other damn thing that I don't have contestants. So let's just play the game, and then I'll just pick somebody to win.
Okay.
Right.
So can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound fine.
Yeah, we can hear. We can hear you.
All right.
I'll try my best in the trivia. So
this is. I've got some questions here. We're going to start with you, Danny, and then you get a chance to answer the question. And if you get it wrong, first of all, if you get it right, you get a point. If you get it wrong, then it will go to Sean, who has a chance to steal. So,
okay.
I will start with you. And my first question is, in the start of this movie, or in the beginning of this movie, we see our characters eating at a familiar diner that they continue to see advertisements for throughout the movie. This diner is called the Gunga Diner. What is the Gunga Diner mascot?
Mascot. I know what you're talking about. It's probably in the opening of the movie during the flashbacks. So I see what you mean. I'm gonna guess Sally. No, not Sally. Silk Spectre.
That is incorrect. Sean, for a steal.
What's the mascot of the restaurant?
Of the Gunga Diner mascot.
I don't know, a dragon.
It is a purple elephant.
Okay.
Purple.
Oh, the one in the. Oh, come on.
Yeah, there's a hot air balloon thing.
Yeah, I see
around.
that. How the hell am I supposed to know it's a mascot for the restaurant?
There you go. All right, so this one to you for Sean, or one for Sean. Ready?
Yeah.
Rorschach bites the ear off a bully, making fun of his mom. That boy is wearing a high school letter jacket. What letter is on the jacket?
I thought he bit his cheek off. I think it's his cheek.
Yeah.
He didn't
That's
go,
Is it his cheek?
He didn't go Mike Tyson.
He bit his cheek on the face. Yeah, he bit it off of it. Flesh code.
Yeah.
So what's the letter on the jacket?
Is it a V for varsity? Just a big V?
That is incorrect.
Okay.
Danny, would you like to steal?
I like to just throw it out. H?
It's an M. It is
M.
an M. Yes.
Oh, golly. Okay. Moving on.
All right. So this one's back to you, Danny. Now let's go to prison where Rorschach was being held.
Yeah.
You see a character named Big Figure come into the frame.
Oh, yeah. I know who he is.
And Big Figure is surrounded by two strong men. Give me one of their names.
Lawrence.
Wow. Oh, well, Sean, can you give me the other name?
No Arms MaGee.
That is actually Lawrence.
Oh, well, he's got a new nickname now.
The answer is Lloyd and Lawrence. All right, so Danny has a point.
All right.
Sean.
Yeah.
There is a reference to a new state in this movie. Every flag you see has 51 stars. What is the new state?
Oh my gosh, I don't. Jesse would probably yell at me because it's a piece of dialogue I'm sure that I missed. That was just for you, Jesse. I don't know. Puerto
New
Rico.
state.
No, it's got to be something ridiculous. Vietnam is now a new state.
Sean is correct. Vietnam.
I was
is
gonna
the
say. I was
51st
gonna
state.
guess.
They
I
turned
was
it
gonna
into a
guess
state.
Vietnam.
Wow, imperialism.
51
at its
stars,
best.
and the United States has 50 stars. Oh, okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, so the answer now we're tied each 1-1. All right, so this one is I'm back to Danny, I believe.
Yep.
Yes.
What element does Dr. Manhattan burn into his head?
Element, like burning his head, like shoot. Can you go to Sean? I'll come back with me when I have this in my head. I'm just gonna guess it on my head, but
Well, you
Yeah,
have to-
throw me a guess.
Yeah, just yeah.
Ion, like ION.
That is ion is not the answer. Sean. Going back to your chemistry days.
Yeah, I don't remember them having symbols. But I mean, I guess it's what? It's a dot in the middle and then a dot at the top. So that's like what, 2? So hydrogen?
Hydrogen is the answer.
Okay.
What?
The most common element in the universe.
Oh,
Hydrogen.
the forehead. God, you should have described it better. Oh.
All right, so Sean's at 2.
I thought
Sean's
you
at
meant
2.
like what element he actually is, not like the forehead. Okay.
All right, so this one, this is for the win, Sean. You'll be at 3 points, right?
Yeah.
As Ozymandias is speaking with the captains of industry and they move into a lobby area, what is playing over the speakers?
Oh. Oh, is it a TV show or a music? You're not going to tell me. It's fine.
I'm not going to say.
Oh gosh, what is it? Gosh, dang it!
I think I know the scene he's talking about.
I know the
but
scene.
wanna
I just
spoil
can't.
that.
I remember there being something in the back. I watched this with closed captions on, so closed captions tells me, like it tells me,
Yeah.
there's music playing in the background or Tyler Bates song, or whatever. I don't know. They're watching The Price is Right. It's not. I don't know what it is.
That is incorrect.
Yeah.
Danny for the steal.
Wow. Okay. I don't know either. It's probably from Tyler Bates, but I don't know, to be honest with you.
This is a hard one. I gotta admit, because it is a Muzak version of Tears for Fears Everyone wants to rule the world.
Oh, okay.
Tears from.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
By
I've
the
heard
way,
that song.
speaking of music's the wrong word. It's a cover, but I know what you mean. But like,
Yeah.
the cover of Hallelujah when they're having sex in the owl ship is the worst
Yeah,
version of
I don't
that
want to
song.
talk about
I
that. I don't want to
totally
talk
agree.
about it. I don't even care.
Totally.
I don't want to talk about it. Seriously.
All right, so whose turn is it now? It's
It's back to-
should be me.
It's back to
it's
Danny.
back to Danny. All right,
This will
Danny.
be the last
Here
one.
it is. All right. Where do I have here? When Night Owl and Silk Spectre rescue people from a burning building, what does Night Owl offer them in Archie once they are safe?
Archie. Can you explain what Archie exactly?
Archie is the ship.
He calls it Archie. It's short for Archimedes. It's his little owl
Yep.
ship.
What does he offer for Archie? Like, that is the question I don't know how to answer. I don't know. Or safety is probably the one I'm going to think of right now.
Okay. Although he gives them safety, he does not offer them safety. Sean, for the win.
I only remember when they all got off, she puts away a bunch of coffee cups. Does he give them coffee?
He gives them coffee. I'm impressed. I am impressed. That one I didn't think you would get. All right, so congratulations, Sean. I think are you the first
Well,
one
I'm the
from our show to actually win
Well, yeah, it's
one
true.
of these things?
It's also the
Yeah.
Is this the first time you've done a trivia like this on the show, or is it
No,
just
it's
it's,
like the third or fourth time.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I always lose. I never win. So
I should probably do that in some future episode. But yeah, good idea. Good idea.
yeah. So
I had fun,
congratulations. That
though.
was fun. Andrew makes very good questions. I will say that.
Yeah, Andrew does. He makes them very good and very hard, and that's a thing. All right.
Yeah.
Time for this last part here.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Not actually the last part. It's just the next part, I should say. So we just decided to keep our top 3 tonight very simple. We're just going to say comic book adaptations. Just what are some of your favorite comic book adaptations? And Sam, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, I have got at my number 3 Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, that's a good one.
Which I'm sure Corny would appreciate.
Yep.
My number 2 is Snowpiercer. And my number 1 is 300.
So you went graphic novel adaptations.
I did.
I like that.
Now I know what this is. Okay. I should probably go next. Should I? Or...
Sure, that sounds like a good idea.
Sure.
Okay, definitely. Let me do this. I got this. Number 3, I'm gonna have to do. I think there's only a couple I can do. I can probably do top 2 for now. I don't know.
That's fine. That'll work.
I got Watchmen, but the most number 1 film of graphics, Frank Miller, Sin City.
Okay.
With Jessica Alba.
Yeah.
With Jessica Alba,
Yes.
Bruce Willis. Yeah. I'll admit Sin City is a great underrated film as well. Not just superhero, but a great graphic novel film. I like that.
Sean, did you see that Bruce Willis is retiring?
I did see that. I'm a little.
Oh yeah, me too.
I'm a little bummed out, but I also
I
appreciate,
understand.
He's had a long career, and frankly, the last 15 or 20 films of his have been terrible. So I think it's okay to let him.
Yeah,
call it the end. Yeah.
God, I like his past. I love his past gem films. Like he's done Over the Hedge, Cop Out, and Red. Those are like the only 3 I can say they're my favorite of his. But definitely Cop Out's probably the most greatest one.
Okay, interesting. I don't think even Kevin
I've
Smith
never heard that.
Yeah, I don't think
Cop
even
Out.
Yeah,
Cop Out's is a cop buddy comedy from 2010 with Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, Kevin Smith directed that one, and
Didn't they almost like
classic?
They
kill
won't,
each other on
yeah,
that
they
set?
won't work
They-
with each other anymore because of that.
Yeah, it's sad to see him go now, but I hope we wish him luck for his retirement and hopefully safe and sound for his guy. He was my idol, and all of a sudden it's gone. All of a sudden I just moved on.
Okay. So my 3, I'm going to do also Scott Pilgrim versus the World because I love that movie very much. That was going to be number 1, but I'm going to move it around a little bit. My number 2 is going to be V for Vendetta, and my number 1 is going to be Road to Perdition.
Oh, I forgot about Road.
Yeah,
I forgot that was a comic. Okay.
Yeah, it's really good, really good.
Yeah,
Tom Hanks and Daniel Craig long before he was the Bond.
Yep.
So, yeah. All right. Time for this segment here.
Wait, what's supposed to happen?
Well, Daniel Radcliffe, this is where we give this movie a score from 0 to 10, and 0 being the least and 10 being the best. So, again, Sam, I will let you go first, please.
I've got to give this a good. I'll give it a good 7.01 out of 10. 7.01. It's decent. It's fun. It's at least an interesting take on things, and I kind of just enjoy the moodiness of this whole movie. I think it's good.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Danny.
So you said 10 is least best or best? I kind of heard you said
the best. Yeah. 0 to 10.
Okay. I thought you made this opposite. I just want to make sure, but I'm definitely gonna give this one a 8.7. The adaptation looks very smooth, awesome, groundbreaking, strikingly good. Except the nudity sex part, I don't really care. That took me away from that. The runtime, but everything else, the performances, the atmosphere, tone, and that kind of a genre of superhero looks so realistic. Got to be one of the most underrated superhero movies of all time. So 8.7 for me.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
IMDb gives this like a 7.7, I think.
And I think Rotten Tomatoes is in the 60s, if I'm not mistaken. And 70% audiences love it too. So.
Yeah, I'm not part of that 70. So I'm gonna give it.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna give it a 6. A 6.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't love it. It's
Okay.
fine. It's violent and ridiculous and over the top. And I know that
Subjectively, it's anyone's opinion. So I can say that people love it and people don't like it. So it's mixed in that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well that's kind of the show. Really, at this point, I say, Danny, here's again another opportunity for people to find out where they can find your podcast.
You can find my podcast. It will be in the description of Sean's episode on Cheapseat Reviews. It's going to have my link tree where it'll give you guys plenty of full options of what platforms you have to listen on. It's my show. It's available on Spotify, Anchor, Apple, Google, Breaker, Stitcher, and Good Pods. And there's other platforms too on your choices as well. But I would really appreciate you guys, for those who are going to be checking out my show, please leave me a review and feedback on Apple and Spotify mostly. And I love to see reviews and feedbacks to my liking, to see what I can do to adjust or do better. But I really recommend you guys check out my show. I do movie reviews, like I said, and some other topic news and whatnot. Recently today, I've done a Top Gun new trailer episode I uploaded just today. So you guys want to look into that, my first ever trailer reaction, you know where to find my show. Again, it will be in the description of Sean's episode in this show. So, and my Twitter will be at ISUS4M. And, my Twitter will be on this show too as well, and the description. So you guys will check out my social media. Let me rephrase. You guys are welcome to follow my social media if you please. It will be in the description as well. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. I'm sure all of that will happen at some point because that's what I do. All right. I'm so lost. I'm sorry, guys. I'm out of it tonight. This has been Cheapseat Reviews. This is the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good. I don't know why I'm saying that again. I am so done, guys. My brain is toast. I apologize. Facebook.com/Cheapseat Reviews. Cheapseatreviews.libsyn.com is our website. Go there. Our links to all of our stuff, including our merch. Go buy some stuff. Guys, we have some really exciting news for our 400th episode. I'm not going to share it now because then why would you listen next week? So tune in next week for a few details, but not very many, because I'm going to string this out as much as I can. Episode 400,
nice.
Awesome.
400 is
Good
going to
idea.
be some big stuff. I'm very excited for it. Sam and I have got some stuff cooking, and of course, Andrew.
What platform are you guys streaming on, if you guys don't mind? Exactly, since
for that episode.
Yeah, like live podcast, right? Is that what you guys are doing?
We will. I'm not going to tell you now.
We'll announce it later.
Yeah,
I'll wait. I'll wait till the news comes. It's fine.
Try.
I follow you guys on Twitter, so it's cool. I'll wait. Well, good luck on that, and have fun with it too.
Thank you. Again, follow us on Twitter at CheapSeatCast. Leave us a review on iTunes well, pretty much just iTunes. All the other places are great. I guess you can now leave reviews on Spotify, I think, which is cool. Anyway, that's it. That's our show. Thank you guys so much for listening. On behalf of Sam and Danny, this is Sean saying thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week for a movie that I forgot to tell you about.
On the Vintage Video Podcast, we'll be reviewing every single wide release of the 1980s in chronological order. Over 250 episodes to enjoy and thousands more to come. John enters the store now to order another can of ether. I picture him outside like Homer with the gasohol.
One for you, one for me.
I also like to think about that the kids renew their vow not to talk about the murder
by murdering someone.
They're taking a blood oath with someone else's blood.
This stuff is 7 times more powerful than uranium. And they open up the vault that it's contained in, not wearing any kind of protective gear.
Yeah.
And it's wooden crates.
Wooden crates. It's like the guys in Chernobyl picking up the graphite rocks and going, nah, because there's rocks.
Hugging the elephant foot. Just like, oh, this thing's smooth.
It's so warm.
He turns to dial the number from the classified ad without even thinking about the numbers. We know this because we can hear his thoughts, and he's talking about how AJ was right that ninjas are misdirecting him.
They're misdirecting.
I really wish that he'd turn to the phone and been like, 665. No, that's 2 5s. Vintage Video. We're rewatching the 80s so you don't have to.